You are now tuning in to the Roughnecks Podcast with your host, Cole Nixon. Much love.
One last thing before we get into today's episode. A lot of people ask how they can support the podcast. Well, I have a couple easy ways. The first way is just listen and subscribe. And another thing you can do is go follow the Roughnecks Podcast on social media. We're on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube as well. If you get something out of today's show, then do me a favor, share it with a friend. If you really want to go above and beyond to support the podcast, then head over to roughneckspodcast.com and get you some of that merch. I appreciate all of the support, but let's get into today's episode.
So cruel to me, and it's been the same to them. But I don't mind sharing my sweet depression with some boys who act just like me and a girl who does the same. I don't know how I got here, but I'm glad as hell I came. Come as you are, however broken, and we will see if we can make you whole again. Come as you are.
What's up, everybody? Hope y'all like the little music intro, huh? We are on to another random midweek episode 73. Catching back up, getting there. Trying to get back on track or stay on track or whatever you want to call it for this coming month, or technically this month and the rest of the year. But I have some pretty sweet people lined up the next month or so. Actually, I'm pretty much booked for like 3 months. I don't know how. I've never been this far in advance, but the podcast is growing. People want to come on, and we're getting there. So, but you're getting another episode. You had one yesterday. You're getting another one today. And you're getting another one tomorrow. You don't like it? Don't listen. You do like it? Keep listening. Appreciate you. Quick episodes, but important ones if you ask me. But let's see what we got on tap today. First off, announcements. I do have one single announcement, maybe a couple actually, now that I'm thinking about it. You guys know how it goes. I have my notes, and then I also like think of things in my head. First announcement is the normal one. Go check out the website. Tell you what, you buy something between now and Monday at 7 a.m. by the time the episode comes out. Then I'll send you a free Roughnecks koozie. But other than that, that's all I got. Oh yeah, no YouTube for now. Taking a break. You want to be a social media manager? Let me know. We're on to something here. All right, today's episode 73 of the Roughnecks Podcast, is about pride. Some of you are just sitting there like, oh, I don't know if I can listen to this episode. I might have to skip this one. Some old football buddies are like, great, there we go. Warrior Pride, Bishop Pride, whatever the fuck you want to call it. For those of you who don't know, like Warrior Pride was a big deal in high school. I mean, we were the Watkins Warriors, and big deal. I've pretty much lost all my Watkins shirts, not on purpose. I don't know what happened to them. They just kind of disappeared, but we used to have shirts that just said Warrior Pride. I'm pretty sure I still have one black one that says Warrior Pride. Love that shirt. Maybe an ex-girlfriend stole it. That kind of sucks. Oh well. And then, Bishops, we never really said Bishop Pride, but I went to Ohio Wesleyan, and we were the Ohio Wesleyan Battling Bishops. Yes, we were a battling bishop. If you see a battling bishop, please let me know. I don't know if they had those back in the day. I didn't take a freaking history class. I'm not a religious person. I don't know. But I saw something, once again, saw some shit that I wanted to talk about, but saw something that stuck with me. And We've been talking a lot lately. I know it's been pretty much every episode for all this year about doing what makes you happy. And we need to quit worrying about the fucking outside factors. And we we really should not let those factors even affect our happiness. And like this quote, basically what it said was, actually, do I have a video of? Hold on, give me 1 second. I want to see if I have the video. You know how I am. My phone, my videos, or my old college days of just being an idiot, or TikToks that I thought were funny, or that I thought were relevant for the show. But I do have it. There it is. This one is from Wealth Lock. Didn't not, a, not I don't know their stuff, but here we go. Oh, hold on. We got to restart. Did not have my volume turned up on my phone. Here we go.
There are only two people in this world that you need to make proud. It's not your mom, it's not your dad, not your husband, not your wife, not your kids. It's the 8-year-old version of you and the 80-year-old version of you. If those two people are happy with the way you lived your life, it means you did everything right.
Let's think about that. Let's look at that. Stop worrying about on the outside. Stop worrying about what other people think. Stop worrying about what your mom thinks, your dad thinks. That sounds bad, but in reality, stop worrying about it. You're going to make them proud no matter what the fuck you do. Just don't be a freaking idiot. But you're going to make them proud. And if you don't, screw them. Stop worrying about what your brother thinks, your sister thinks, your girlfriend thinks. Stop worrying about all that. Stop looking at social media and seeing that people have this car or this house or this job or this girl or whatever the freak it is. Don't forget that social media is a damn highlight reel. It doesn't show the true side of things. You don't get to see, maybe that person is actually freaking depressed and hates their damn life. You don't get to see what it took to get there. Maybe you had better circumstances than us. I know some of us like to call it daddy's money, but also you could also look at, they just were blessed in a different way that we weren't. Shit happens. You don't see that. But if you are looking at social media and you say must be nice, I kind of want to punch you in the face. Don't ever say that shit. I hate that saying. As a blue collar person, most of us do hate that saying when somebody says must be nice. Or, daddy's money is also another thing that blue collar people hate. But I'm gonna stick with the must be nice. Don't ever say must be nice to somebody. Please. I don't care how bad you have it. I don't care how good you have it. I don't care if you're right in the middle. Don't ever say must be nice. That saying right there. Do you know how many, like as a blue collar person, do you know how many I've seen it and I've seen people get pissed and I've stood up for them? Do you know how hard they worked for that fucking money? I've watched my parents do it. I've watched my brother do it. I've watched my brother-in-law do it. I've watched all of my siblings do it. I've watched everybody do it. Everything they have worked their ass off for. Nothing was handed to them. They don't get shit. We don't get shit handed to us. Yeah, maybe fucking here and there we get some little like handouts, but a lot of us hate handouts and don't even accept handouts. Don't ever say must be nice. I hate that so much. I hate that. I told myself I wasn't going to go on any rants. I was done with the rants after that episode. I believe last week, Monday. People work their ass off for things. And when you degrade it and say, because that's what you're doing, you're degrading it. You're not appreciating the fact that they worked their ass off. This is why a lot of people also work in fucking silence and don't ever show their accomplishments. Maybe you ever like ran into that person from high school and they're driving a nice truck. They got their own house. They got a pretty hot girlfriend, whatever it is. You're like, damn, must be nice. I've done it. I'll be honest, I've done it. But then I also catch myself like, what are you doing, you idiot? You don't know if that was handed to them or if they fucking worked, 60-hour weeks to get whatever they want. Don't use the saying, must be nice. Hate that. But we're going to go back to it. There's only two type of people that you need to make proud. Yeah, we can look for the approval of others to a degree. I don't think we should, because the approval of others does not define us. You must be happy with yourself first. I mean, and let's look at things real quick. Carter Franklin asked a question, and then we answered it on Q&A Friday number 2 with Dante, episode 70, and it was, where you are right now, did you see yourself here 5 years ago? Why or why not? And I can almost guarantee you that every one of you is going to say no. Some for better, some for worse, but pretty much all of you are going to say no. And some of you are going to fight me and be like, well, I achieved what I set out to achieve, but yeah, so I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I set the goal and I got there. But I guarantee you, if you set that goal, you got it. You have that winner's mentality. You want more. If you got to that goal, you have that winner's mentality, and you're not done. And I can 100% guarantee it did not go the way you wanted it to, because if it went the way you wanted it to, it would have went easy, but it didn't go easy. Nothing ever comes easy. We got to quit worrying about the outside factors. There's two people in this world that we have to make proud. And it is not your mom. It's not your dad. It's not your wife. It's not your kids. Like, that's who we probably think that we need to make proud, but that's not who we need to make proud. 8-year-old you. Because I mean, let's look at this. 8-year-old you. Fuck, my 8-year-old me. I don't even know what I was doing when I was 8 years old. What grade are you in when you're 8 years? When you're 8 years, you're in like what, 3rd grade, something like that. I think I had dreams of being in the NFL. I think it was NBA at that point. I don't know. I was a basketball kid at first. My first love was basketball, but then I fell in love with football. And I found out I could hit people and not get in trouble. That sounds bad, but I'm really not that bad, I promise. But I don't know, like 8-year-old, think back to 8-year-old you. You had no worries, but also like, who did you look up to? Yeah, that just kind of hit me. Who did you look up to when you were 8 years old? Would you be a person that you looked up to when you were 8 years old? And when you're 80, when we're 80, man, we don't want to look back and go, man, I did a lot of things wrong, even though I feel like every 80-year-old does that, but no one ever does life right. We always mess up. Huh. I don't know. When we're 80, we're gonna sit back and look and hopefully live. Like, we don't want to live with regrets. And in my opinion, you should never regret anything in your life. Everything's a lesson. But like, stop worrying about the outside factors. Just make yourself proud. Make the 8-year-old you proud. Make the 80-year-old you proud. And you know what? Do what makes you happy now. Stop, thinking, oh, I'll fix it next week. I'll fix it tomorrow. No, do what makes you happy right now. If you want to have that beer, bud. Okay, maybe not if you're listening to this at like 8 in the morning, but you know what I mean. But yeah, that's kind of all I got today. That's kind of what Fast Friday is gonna go like. That's a wrap on the 73rd episode. Is it 73? I have to check. Yes, 73. 73rd episode of the Roughnecks podcast, but we are back tomorrow with the first ever Fast Friday. Be sure to check that out. Give me your true feedback. Give me your true feedback. I want to know what you guys think of these. But tomorrow, episode 74. Until then, though, you guys know the deal. Life is hard and it's gonna knock you down just like a bull does to a bull rider. Don't let the bull of life walk all over you. Get up, grab the bull by the horns, and take control of your life. Get after it today, y'all. Roughnecks out. Thank you all for tuning in to this week's episode of the Roughnecks podcast. If you like today's episode, then be sure to subscribe, rate, and review, and share it with a friend if you got some value from it. Head over to social media and follow the Roughnecks Podcast on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, and subscribe to that YouTube channel. Don't forget to get you some of that merch by heading over to roughneckspodcast.com and subscribe to the newsletter while you're there. See y'all next week. Roughnecks out.